Jai Hind and welcome to all. Myself Shivani from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, and this is my fourth lecture of Unit 5 Polymer. In this lecture, I will discuss the remaining polymer, which is Dacron, and then conducting polymer. And to make these slides, I took the help of following references: Engineering Chemistry by Jan and Jen, Shashi Chawla, and these two sites. So, this is the sixth polymer in series of 6 polymer which are mentioned in syllabus. So, this is the basically fiber, and 2 fiber we have already discussed, nylon 6 and nylon 6,6. So, this is third, a series of polyester, and which is also known as terylene or polyethylene terephthalate, which is PET. Okay. Polyester, ester, and we know that ester is formed by combination of acid and alcohol. So, I think it is clear that one monomer should have at least 2 acidic group and second monomer should have at least 2 OH group, so that ester get formed. So, these categories of polymers which have ester linkage in the main chain, and it takes 18% of market share of synthetic polymer. It is the polyester fiber, and which is terylene Dacron, which is formed by polymerization of ethylene glycol and terphthalic acid. Phthalic acid, we know that if benzene ring has 2 COOH, and if it contain 2 COOH at para position, then it is called terphthalic acid. And plus ethylene glycol, glycol means 2 OH, it is a diol, and CH2 OH at this side OH. And it is clear that to act as a monomer, it should be at least bifunctional. So, 2 OH are required and same 2 COOH are required. So, since the functional groups are there, so condensation polymerization will take place, and condensation polymerization means something get liberate, and in this case water get liberate and we get a linkage O here H. So, O CH2 CH2 O CO, then benzene ring, then CO. Sometimes instead of this acid, ester, that is dimethyl terephthalate, is also preferred. So, in that situation, instead of water, alcohol get liberate. And medium, generally we prefer acidic medium. So, this. Now, properties, it is a basically colorless, and it occurs as rigid substance, and it is highly resistant to mineral and organic acid, which is, and it shows bed resistance to alkali. It is hydrophobic. Hydrophobic means water hating, and this has high melting point because of benzene ring or aromatic ring. Now, application, since it is a fiber, so we can say it is used to make synthetic fiber, and it can be blended with wool, cotton, and to make blanket, carpet or etc. And it is also used to make wide necked coffee jar or wide neck jar, and its one also important application is it is used in electrical insulation. So, I think it is clear that polyester Dacron, Dacron means ester group is this, and linkage with glycol, glycol means 2 CH2 like this, and so on. So, this is the structure of this Dacron, terylene. Terylene, I think polyester, if you, I do not know, but if you ask your parents, then they know, I think very well, that polyester fiber. It was very famous to make the, it is used for safari suits, shirts, etc. Now, next let us start conducting polymer, and which is a very important topic. Most of the polymers, they show bad conductivity, or we can say they are bad conductor because of absence of conjugation or alternate double bond, or we can say that traditional polymers, they were poor conductor. But in 19th century, in case of polyaniline, it has been found that the conductivity may be increased, or it show conductivity because of presence of conjugation or alternating double bond. So, there were lots of research after this century, and in 2000 the Nobel Prize was awarded for this research, preparation and properties of conducting polymer. So, if we define this, so we can say a polymer which can conduct electricity due to alternative double bond known as conducting polymer. For example, polyaniline. Aniline, everybody knows that aniline, that is benzene ring with NH2, and for this preparation neither addition or condensation polymerization is used. Here generally protonic electronic polymerizations is preferred. So, when alanine get polymerized, it give a series of polyaniline. And why this, there is a cunoid structure or this structure, we will discuss later in next 2-3 slides. So, first polyaniline, first example, and simple, if you draw the simple structure, this structure is like this, no need to draw like this structure, benzene NH, so on, and it is used to make flat button batteries or rechargeable batteries. Second example is polypyrrole. Pyrrole, it is a heterocyclic group, and heterocyclic groups have very good application in medical field as well as in this field. This polypyrrole, if you write lone pair, so no need to write H, and if you write H, then no need to draw this lone pair. And when we polymerize this pyrrole, so there we get a polypyrrole which is used to make smart windows, and smart window means it change color according to temperature and sunlight outside. This is just information. In molecular orbital theory, for metallic bond, we know that the conductivity basically it is explained by the formation of valence band as well as conduction band. The electrical properties of semiconductors are determined by electronic structures, and electron moves in discrete energy states which are called bands. And the band which is formed by valence electron or available electron is termed as a valence band, and the next band, next permitted band where the electron can jump, it is termed as a conduction band. So, in case of metal, here we see that the both state, filled state means valence band state and empty state means conductor state, they are basically overlapped, or we can say the gap is very less. So, in this case the electron excitation is possible, or electron can easily go from this state to this state, and when we apply a slight field, and here the hole get developed and electron move here. So, this type, those material which have this type of property are classified as metals. In case of semiconductor or insulator, there is a gap between this filled state and empty state, that is valence band and conduction band state, and this gap is termed as a band gap or forbidden gap. And since here when energy is applied or some energy is passed or excitation of electron take place, then in some situation the electron will move here to there. So, here hole is valence band and free electrons are they are moving in this side. So, where the excitation of electron is possible or very easy, they are termed as metal, where is not possible termed as insulator, and after adding p type impurity or n type, that is pentavalent or trivalent impurity, if the conductivity get increased, they are termed as a semiconductor. So, when we explain this, so next point it comes, what are the types of conducting polymer? So, conducting polymer, they are classified in following categories. They are either intrinsic conducting polymer, which are termed as ICPs, or extrinsic conducting polymer. In extrinsic conducting polymer means some additional foreign substance is added. This intrinsic conducting polymer, it is again of two type. First is normal, that is conducting polymer having conjugation, double bond, single bond in alternate manner, and next is doped conducting polymer. Doped conducting polymer means create a positive or negative charge by oxidation or reduction. Second, extrinsic conducting polymer, again they are of two type. First, conducting element filled polymer or blended conducting polymer. So, we discuss one by one. First, intrinsic conducting polymer. The polymers with extensive conjugation in backbone. So, for conduction, this is the necessary requirement, conjugation or alternate bond. So, we discuss this point by taking the example polyacetylene. The polymer consists of single or double bond alternate manner, this is called conjugated double bond, and the valence band and conduction bands, they are separated by a significant gap, and so the conduction or excitation could occur after thermal or electrolytic or photolytic activation of electron to give sufficient energy to excite. So, this is the common point, and this point we will take here. So, intrinsic conducting polymer means the normal conducting polymer, and the first category of this is conducting polymer having conjugation pi electron. And we know that the basically conduction, it is due to overlapping conjugated pi electrons over the entire backbone, and each bond, it contains a localized sigma bond and which form a strong chemical bond. And since there is a double bond, so double bond also contain a less strongly localized pi electron, which is comparatively weaker than single bond. And we know that here the electrical conduction could occur after thermal or photolytic activation of electron with sufficient amount of energy to jump. So, let us take an example of polyacetylene. Acetylene is CH triple bond CH, and after polymerization, when the chain get formed, so here the linkage, so triple bond, it will move here. So, we get alternate bond single double single double. So, we write like this or this. Second, polypyrrole, same pyrrole, but when we draw the structure or write the structure, we write this NH on this side and then NH in opposite side this end. Thiophene is the again heterocyclic, this, and when we polymerize this, we get nth means like this. But when we write the structure, we will follow the same manner means 1 this side and again this side like this, this n minus 2 we can write. So, these three example, one polyacetylene, second polypyrrole, polythiophene, this is the normal example conducting polymer. But the conductivity of these polymer are not sufficient for various purpose. So, in this case we prefer second type, and which is doped conducting polymer. We know that the conducting polymer can be easily oxidized or reduced as they have low ionization energy and high electron affinity, and that is why the conductivity, it can be increased by creating positive or negative charge because of low ionization energy and high electron affinity on this polymer backbone or chain by oxidation or reduction, and which is referred as a doping. So, first, what is doping basically? So, in this situation, either we create a positive charge, and which is by oxidation, or create negative charge, which is done by reduction. And third, we will discuss also protonic doping by taking a very good important example of polyaniline. But here first we discuss this. So, if we create a positive charge which is done by oxidation, so we prefer to take either Lewis acid which has tendency to accept a lone pair of electron, and when lone pair of electron accept, so automatically the polymer chain, it get positive charge, or iodine vapor, or iodine in CCl4, etc. So, here we prefer oxidizing agent or Lewis acid. Negative, we prefer either Lewis base like NH3 or sodium naphthalide. That is mild reducing agent. And for protonic doping, we took a separate example of polyaniline. Now, how this occur? So, this is a common, but I will discuss this on this blank slide. So, first is, let us we take positive, that is which is called p doping. This type oxidate, this is called p doping. P, remember this with positive, and this system n doping. So, first let with p doping. So, let us take the example of polyacetylene like this, alternate double bond, this CHX. So, we write CHX, and when this CHX is treated with oxidizing agent like Lewis acid or FeCl3, in this case what will happen? The CHX plus FeCl4 minus and plus so on. Or if we take iodine, let I2. So, what we get? We get CHX plus I3 minus. So, here we write 2, 3, 2 like this. So, when we take oxidizing agent, a plus charge on chain, it appear. So, first by taking oxidizing agent, let me take this side or this side. So, this plus this. So, radical ion or polaron get developed. Now, again oxidation by radical combination, we get, so here is basically delocalization, movement of charge. So, plus, that is bipolaron get developed or bication get developed, this 1, 2. Now, the segregation of charge. Segregation of charge means this will come here, So, this positive charge it may come here, and same this positive charge, so positive charge will come here. So, simple we can say the segregation of charge. So, initially the gap between valence band and conduction band is large by the significant band gap, but when it is oxidized, then a plus charge or we can say when electron is removed, then a hole get developed in between this valence band and conduction band. Again by oxidizing, a hole also get developed, and which allow the facile movement or jump of electron from valence band to this side. So, the electron will easily move from here to there, that is the conductivity get increased. Or simple we can say there will be a development of two solitons, that is two holes in mid energy level. So, here we see that initially the conductivity is comparatively less, but after doping the charge it get moved or it get localized. So, the conductivity it get increased, and since the positive charge are developed, this is termed as p doping, and which is done by oxidizing agent. Now, second is n doping. So, in case of n doping, concept is same. Concept is same means we take reducing agent, and reducing agent means sodium naphthalide we can take or Lewis base. So, when Lewis base is preferred, let NH3. So, in this case chain X, and here we get plus charge. So, let me take this side, third side. So, negative charge, same, and again reduction, target reduction by radical combination like this, and then movement. And negative charge, we know that it is a simple resonance effect, plus away and minus away and plus towards. So, here like this, here this, so this. So, the separation. So, again we can say that two same, the gap is too large, but here the addition of electron, it will not directly go to conduction band, it will basically appear in between the valence band or conduction band, or we can say band level. Okay. This is the basically this level, because electron is there, while in previous case there was a hole. Same by, and then they basically fix in that manner, so that the jumping of electron it can occur easily. So, here we again say because of separation of charge the conductivity get increased. While in case of polyaniline, we say that protonic doping, and polyaniline is this. Let us withdraw this, and which is also termed as synthetic metal, like this. I draw the 3 ring like this. This is simple polyaniline, but conductivity is not sufficient. Its conductivity is about 10 to the power minus 10 or 11 Siemens per centimeter. But if we take a reductive as well as oxidative situation or condition, so in that situation this charge it will goes here. So, it easily cunoid structure get formed, this. So, in this case, that is simultaneously oxidation reduction, we get a alternate cunoid structure as well as this benzene structure. Like this, then this occur. So, this is cunoid structure and this is the structure. This is called emeraldine base. So, emeraldine base, and when it is treated with HCl. So, in this situation the protonization will take place, and in protonization means since the nitrogen has lone pair of electron and it has tendency to form ammonium category salt. So, in that situation the nitrogen, it will accept this proton, and this charge is compensated by Cl minus, and this is called emeraldine salt. And this emeraldine salt, it is a basically in form of blue film, black thin film of this conducting polyaniline, and its conductivity is about 10 to the power 5 Siemens per centimeter. So, here we see that this is a normal polyaniline, but after protonization its conductivity increases many times, and this is also known as synthetic metal. So, if we summarize this point, that what are the factors which influence or affect the conductivity of conducting polymer. So, here we know that there are mainly 4 factors. First factor is conjugation level, second is doping level, which type of doping occur, third you can say temperature, generally temperature, on increasing the temperature the conductivity increases, however at high temperature it's become constant, and fourth is current frequency. And if examiner asks what are the limitation of intrinsic conductive polymer, so intrinsic conducting polymer basically it shows inferior conducting property than metal. It has low conductivity, poor mechanical strength, poor storage ability, poor tolerance towards environmental condition, especially temperature. So, in this conducting polymer, if examiner asks, first we write about p doping, then we write about n doping, and if required then polyaniline condition. And polyaniline condition means first we draw this polyaniline and then imine nitrogen structure, and imine nitrogen structure means with quinoid structure, and then this imine nitrogen it accept a proton, and this charge is compensated by Cl minus at this structure. Now, next is extrinsic conducting polymer. Extrinsic means the polymer have their conductivity or show their conductivity due to some foreign material or external added compounds. Again it is of 2 types. First is conducting element filled polymers. In this case the polymer act as a binder to hold the conducting element together in solid entity, and especially carbon black or carbon metallic fiber is used. So, here the polymer is basically as a sandwich material in between the two bread, that is conducting element polymer or conventional polymer. For example, in hospital, operation theatre, such conducting element filled polymers are used so that the static charges do not build up, and which leads to explosion involving as anesthetics. Now, blended conducting polymer. These blended means mixing. These polymers are obtained by blending a conventional polymer with conducting polymer, and such polymer after blending they have basically different or better physical, chemical or electrical, mechanical properties, they can be easily processed. For example, up to 40% polypyrrole will have little effect on tensile strength, but when it is blended with carbon black, then its impurity or this strength can increase. But in case of previous, that is in conducting element filled polymer, although it is for example it is basically mixed with carbon black, but it some properties it get reduced like tensile strength or few mechanical properties. Now, next is application of conducting polymer, and which is again important. So, first application, it is used in flat button rechargeable batteries, and especially polyaniline is used, and we see that the polyaniline has different structure in different condition. Normal polyaniline, but in reducive or oxidative condition it shows the emeraldine base condition, and after protonization it shows a emeraldine salt condition. So, first it is used in rechargeable batteries. Second, it is used as a antistatic substances for photographic film, and for this purpose polypyrrole can be used. Third, analytical sensors, and it is used to make a sensors for pH, NOx, SO2, glucose or etc. And fourth, it is used to make ion exchanger membranes or some controlled release drugs because of boundary layer effects with selective permeability for ions. And basically the diffusion of drugs from the polymer matrix, it permits the continuous time period like 1 week, 1 month and controlled release. With this, regular injection or oral injection of drug is no longer required, and that is why it is used in for slow control birth pills, or it is also has potential for the treatment by the of cancer through chemotherapy. It is used as a corrosion inhibitors, that is they stop the ions which lead the corrosion. Used in electrochromic displays, means which change the color with the light frequency, or basically they absorb the visible light and show its complementary color. It is used in electronics as a light emitting diodes, electron beam lithography or data storage. It is used in lasers, used in flat television, used in solar cell panels or compact capacitors. So, this is the basically long topic, and where we have to summarize this. First, what is the definition, then 2 example, and then classification, then the explanation of this classification, especially intrinsic conducting polymer, and then last you end this topic with application. In next slide, I will discuss the biodegradable polymer or then Grignard reagent or organometallic compounds. Thank you.